Hi everyone, this is MS Voice Research Notes. Today I'm not feeling quite well, and I think I probably have got a cold, or also you can hear that I'm coughing. Um, Probably because after a more than a month of intensive study and academic research, I think, staying at home during holiday, my body, is rebounding, and some of the those kind of uh, how say some kind of dormant diseases. I mean, they started to show up, and it is probably a kind of reflection of my immune system. So I remembered that yesterday I didn't drink too much or enough water. So yesterday before sleeping, after taking the shower, I started to feel that my throat is very painful, and I just thought that probably because of the it was because of the dry weather, or it's the spring season here, and it's generally windy outside, so it's dry, and sometimes you'll also encounter some some dust storm. So I just thought it was the weather's reason. However, today after getting up, uh, my I got a serious sore throat, and I think that my mind is not very clear, or how to say. I just feel that I'm you know I feel very dizzy. So um, this is my body's situation. But today I continued to further my academic study, and I have already finished the second chapter of the literature review part. And tomorrow, I will receive the result of the computer assisted language learning conference, the largest CALL conference in Europe. And I designed a kind of platform or application or website to help students um, do intensive reading and practice their oral speaking. So I think uh, hopefully I can be accepted. And well, actually, you can check my website, and that is stvs.uk. My website is Stories to Voices Studio, and you can just Google it and you can find it. Now the website is still under construction, and we are still evaluating the effectiveness of such website or application, and we focus on various languages, not only English, and also to help learners better input the learning materials, because we support bringing our own context to our website. In order to support that, we also designed a kind of Google extension to download or input your learning material directly to your private library in our application in SDVS. So this is, well, one of my major projects about the computer assisted language learning platform. And I have, submitted my abstract at the end of February. So I have been waiting for more than a month. I hope that I can have a good result. And actually, I have been rejected by other conferences before, two conferences before. One of them is also the largest conference, or one of the most well-known conference in second language acquisition. Um, well, actually, I can't understand that because I'm just an undergraduate student. I still need to further, you know, improve my academic abilities, or um, how to say, further meet the this discussion topic of the conferences. Even though I think my research is um, how to say, is meaningful or is valuable, and I think it should or it can be accepted by those conferences. Many times you might or the reviewers might feel that your say your abstract is not clear enough, or they may think that your research is irrelevant to the topic that they are discussing. They're discussing this year. So I mean it's a pity, but I hope that tomorrow after getting up um or I mean I hope that I can receive a good result. I really hope that I can be accepted, because it is one of the greatest motivations or academic momentums I can have right now. So I really, really hope that I can be accepted. Um, so if I could be accepted, I think I will further illustrate the design of STVS and how we're planning to further evaluate this platform. So today I have finished the second chapter of the literature review part. And this chapter, like what I've introduced in my previous videos, I have introduced the near-peer teaching and dialogic teaching and control value theory. And those three theories or three pedagogical approaches, or um, how to say, those theories, I say, those theories, they served as different functions. Near-peer teachers tells the readers who the teachers are, and dialogic teaching tells the readers that what kind of teaching practices are the teachers going to use, and the control value theory link those teaching outcomes or the effect of dialogic teaching to foreign language enjoyment, and shows that FLE is an appropriate and desirable outcome emotion. Um, so I think now I have already formed a kind of a chain of different theories to prove that my design is legitimate and is theory grounded and evidence based. No, not evidence based, because I still haven't introduced my pilot tests, and that will be included in the methodology part. So you can see that this is like designing a new method of teaching, which is quite different from those essays which are relatively easier or more simple to write about. Just like the correlation between different kind of emotional construct. I think I should say that those essays are absolutely meaningful, theoretically meaningful, and it can also be translated into some teaching practices. However, I have to say that designing a new pedagogical approach is even more complicated and even more difficult than merely using questionnaires, merely using interviews to find the correlations or the associations between different emotional constructs. So, um, so I think first of all, this essay is very valuable because it's practical and it can provide near-peer teachers or near-peer volunteers who teach English in rural areas or urban areas a kind of pedagogical repertoire and help them get trained in a short period of time. And secondly, it also demonstrates my academic ability. First of all, I recruited four volunteer teachers, and I analyzed, and we together taught 16 different classes, and together we analyzed, after cleaning the data, we analyzed more than 800 samples, namely 800 students. So if you count pre-test and post-test together, then there are more than 1,600 samples or individuals. And also we have like audio-based vocal signals to check the moment-to-moment fluctuations of foreign language enjoyment, which also use coding. And after coding, this is not merely like some qualitative analysis. After coding, we translate this coding result into a model and to check the possibility of the co-occurrence of individual behaviors with different foreign language enjoyment signals to check the possibilities of triggering foreign language enjoyment on a on an immediate time base. So and after this, I mean, we have to admit that foreign language enjoyment signals are a set of new signal that is designed by ourselves, by the researchers. Previously, I haven't seen any research who has used this kind of vocal signals in real, in foreign language enjoyment studies. So this is a kind of exploratory experiment or exploratory methodology to uh, capture the data that we want to use. So we also implemented the interview. And interviews we chose um, theoretically, strategically from the uh, experimental group, and also the number of students we choose is precisely designed because we want to make sure that no new information can be get from those interviews, and also we want to cover different layers or different changes of foreign language enjoyment in the experimental group to check the effect and individual effect of each behavior. So we used this kind of semi-structured interview to further prove or support or um, how to say or find some differences between results that we reached from the vocal signals and the interviews. We ideally want to use interviews to prove the results that we have got from the signals, foreign language enjoyment signals, which is the previous methodology. But we have to say that sometimes, even though students they demonstrated like a kind of vocal signals to show their foreign language enjoyment, they absolutely won't necessarily repeat their feelings in the interview. So you may see that interviews support parts of the results that we have got previously, and also some kind of results are contradictory, and some previous results haven't been mentioned, or they are not they are not regarded as important or useful by students. So interviews interviews can serve as a methodology which can further support the previous one to show that even though the previous one is exploratory in nature, um, it can also yield some satisfactory results that can be proved by a kind of mature methodology, namely interview. So this is our design, and I think this essay can be finished in a month. Well, because now we have already cleaned all those data and we have finished the results part. I mean, the first part of the results part, which is about the questionnaire. Um, Even though we haven't started to write about the results part, we have already got the data that we need. But for the FLE signals and for interviews, we are still in the process of coding. Because in order to make sure that you're not subjectively coding a kind of interview or signals, you absolutely need at least two researchers to code together, and you need to show that both of them can agree with the results, and you will get a kind of value, which shows that they have already reached a kind of consensus to show that you're not subjectively coding. So it's very time consuming, and it's you know both interview and other coding processes are very, very notorious for their time-consuming features. So we are still in the process of doing that. Um, so actually, we have spent a lot of time, and I've been doing this research for more than. I think I have started to think about doing this research, uh, even during the even before the graduation of senior high school. Um, because at that time I got a chance to serve as a volunteer teacher in a rural area for 2 weeks, and during that experience, I started to think how to help those students. And probably I think if you say that I have started to do that research, I've been doing this kind of work for more than 3 years. But I actually really started to doing this at the end of my freshman year. So it was the first year of my university life, and I got a chance to know more about the second language learning theories, second language acquisition theories. Uh, so at that time, I started to think, why not design a kind of teaching pedagogy that I can use to teach those students? Why not use those, why not use the current or the existing theories or studies to help me find a kind of guidance, and why not translate those theories into some concrete teaching behaviors that I can use and other people can also use to teach those students who really want to learn English. So so basically, I have already started to do this kind of work for more than 2 years. We have moved from teachers recruitment, teacher training, and while we are training, or basically myself, I designed this kind of pedagogy from the theories, and I recruited them and I tried to persuade them to practice their teaching behaviors to really help those students. Sometimes I can feel that they are, impatient. They might think that, you know, this kind of research is very hard to be successful because no one has ever done this before, especially for undergraduate students. But I think since I really want to do this, since I still have a kind of belief to help others, especially others who do not have, too many resources or um, who still really have like a passion for English learning, I think why not help them? Why not just even though we sometimes or many times we feel tired or frustrated because at the very beginning we don't know what theories to use, we don't know how to translate those theories into concrete teaching behaviors. So, um, but I can see that time can tell. And now I can proudly say that we have already finished the teaching product. Sorry. I've already finished the teaching product and we have already collected enough data. And when I was teaching there, I can absolutely feel that the students are actively uh, supporting me or supporting our program. And I think it's quite different from my previous experience because previously, together, my my classmates and I, or some of my friends and I, uh, we taught English in rural areas. However, I have to say that that kind of result was not very pleasing or satisfactory because students, some of them, they want to participate, but many of them have to say that they think that we are disturbing to their lives, and many of us cannot bring useful information or the things they really want to know to them. They might think that we are doing some kind of work which the university required, or they might think that those kind of teaching programs are mandatory for us, so that we cannot avoid, or we had to teach them. They might think that. So, based on the comparison between my previous experience and our teaching program, our near-peer dialogic teaching program, I can feel that first of all, I had already helped a lot of students, um, and secondly, I think I have already felt that this kind of teaching pedagogy is really useful. Then I have already got a kind of mission because I have already discovered its usefulness, its effectiveness. Then I have this kind of duty or responsibility to tell other students who also want to help students in rural areas. So this is my mission, and this is also one of the greatest momentums for me to write about this essay here. Uh, even even though I think I've got a cold or I can feel that I am, heating or my body temperature is higher than before, I'm still writing about this essay because this is a kind of responsibility that no one can refuse, that no one can avoid. And this is a kind of career that I'm that I really want to do because I always believe that education can absolutely change a person's life. And this is how education changed my life. Without knowledge, without, you know, without education, I absolutely could not have become an undergraduate student in one of the greatest universities in China. So, mm, sometimes or many times I might think that if I could be successful based based on the knowledge that the teacher uh, imparts to me, I think those students can also do. But unfortunately, they do not have like so many teachers who are really professional. They do not have, enough teaching resources, and probably their parents uh, cannot provide them with some other teaching or learning materials, so that sometimes I might feel that they are confined to those rural areas. I'm not saying that rural areas are bad, but I have to confess that many of the students living in rural areas, they really want to see a bigger world, and I think they deserve it. They deserve it, and they are born with the right to see the world, to enjoy the infrastructure, enjoy the conveniences, or enjoy a modern life in urban areas. I think they have the right to decide themselves instead of being confined their um, by their original situation, by their original family, by their original teaching resources, by their original schools. So this is what I can do to help them as a student, as an undergraduate student who are only 21 years old. So this is probably the only thing that I can do because it is very impossible for me to really teach them as an in-service teacher in the rural areas because I still need to further my academic research. I still need to uh, because I'm just a near peer student for them. So this is probably the only thing that I can do for them. And also, I have already, gave them my WeChat account, and they can absolutely contact with me if they want. Um, and during weekends, especially during weekends, because they generally live at school and they could only get their phones to connect with their parents and their friends during weekends. So during weekends, some of them would just send me a message to tell what happened during their week, and some of them might tell you that they have seen some progress in their, say, English writing, because many times I have told them the structure of writing, how to get a higher grade in your writing exams. I have taught them some techniques that they can use in the examination. Well, so you can see that even though I cannot serve as their in-service teachers, I can design a kind of methodology that uh, I can design a kind of teaching methods that can help them during the teaching programs, and also I can serve as some kind of tutors, some kind of mentor to help them, um, online. So this is the thing that I can do. I always think that doing academic research is not merely for writing papers. Doing academic research, I mean, you're going to provide a kind of theory, or you're doing some empirical studies. The last thing you need to do, or your ultimate purpose, is to translate what you do into practices, into the solutions to solve those real problems in our lives. So you can see, even though many scholars they design or they posit a kind of theory, they do some empirical studies, they generally want to just tell the in-service teachers what to do in their real career, in their real careers, in reality. So this is like the ultimate purpose of doing academic research, which is, using data, using qualitative and quantitative statistics um, to provide a kind of guidance for people in their everyday life to do better based on their findings. This is also what I want to do, and I think I've done a great job. Um, and probably this is what I want to say today, and I need to take some medicine and have a good sleep. Well, I hope that after getting up tomorrow morning, uh, I hope that I could have already received the acceptance letter from the Eurocall 2026. Well, this is one of the most invaluable chance or opportunity for an undergraduate student to present his or her academic research or application. So I really, really need this chance. I really, really want to be accepted. Just give me 20 minutes. Just give me a chance. Probably this chance can change my life, and probably if I could be accepted by this conference, it will tremendously increase the possibility of being admitted by the University of Oxford or the University of Cambridge, which are two universities that I want to apply to. So just give me 20 minutes. Just give me a chance to present my work during the conference. It only it's just 20 minutes. It won't take you long. So I do hope that I can be accepted. I really, really need this chance. Well, hope everything goes well. And this is what we have today. And today is Jimin Festival, and I hope that we can enjoy our lives and have a good health. And we shall never forget the ancestors or the people that we love before. And we shall together commemorate our ancestors and our forefathers. So, really, really hope everything goes well. And I will tell you the results tomorrow. And I hope that, yeah, I'll just hope that I can be accepted. So, this is what we have today. I'm sorry because I'm not feeling very well and probably have brought this kind of emotion to you. I really want to apologize. You can also hear that I'm coughing. So I will quickly adjust myself and hope to see you tomorrow. And this is MSY's Research Notes. Good night.